This is a 79-minute half marathoner, and this is the training plan that sidelined him. In this episode, I'll show you how to fix common mistakes and build a smarter strategy for running marathon success.
Okay, so this is for the self-coach runner who wants to obviously coach themselves, figure things out, learn, figure out how to even adapt training plans for themselves, etc. But they also don't want to have a coach do the plan. They may not want to pay for it. They may just not want all that, the coach being all up on them. And you just need an expert to be there for you, to answer your questions, to help you out if you get stuck. This episode is for you because I have found a service I think that might be of interest to a lot of self-coach runners, and I'm going to call it the Coaching Advisor, Run Coaching Advisor. So this is the 1% Better Run Coaching Advisor. So I am Darren D. Lake Runs, and I have certifications in running, coaching, nutrition, life coaching, etc. I've been running since 1996 and have done sub 3 hour marathon, ran track 400, 800 meters, now doing distance, obviously sub 3 hour marathon, bunch of marathons. I'm at 82 minutes for half marathon, and I've done ultra distances, events, 10-hour Ironman, etc. I help self-coach runners get the most out of everything through habits, consistency, patience, belief, and that's the whole 1% Better runner theory and ethos. Also, you could obviously live and run your absolute best. What a cool service. And I've actually been offering it to people for free and just doing audits. So this episode, I'm doing a live audit with a guy that I met about a year ago on Instagram. And I said, hey, I'll do an audit for you. He really wasn't ready. Then he hit me up a few weeks ago and said, yo, where's that audit? Can you do one for me? And he kind of gave me a really, really intense one, which was, yo, I'm training for a marathon. So I'll get to that part on the screen. So, hey, I talked early in the year about marathon training and was wondering if you were still open to giving advice on training plans. To me, it looks like a bit much, even though I'm a faster runner and I want to see what you would fix. I managed to get a 79-minute 119 half marathon last year, but got injured right after. When trying to continue to train for the full marathon, I'm hoping to try to either Boston qualify or complete a full marathon next year, but it's really dependent on how my body is doing during the training. Disregard the DT sent me a bunch of images, which I will put up here in a second on the screen. If you're watching, I'll try to read them out. If you're listening, try to make audio and video people happy. I always seem to struggle a bit around 60 miles per week, so thinking about getting the mileage and workouts to adjust a bit. So it took me a bit, got back to him. It was right over the holidays, and I'll try to get this out soon. I'll just go over kind of the training plan. One thing I didn't ask him was, how long have you been training? How long have you been running? Sorry. And that was my absolute mistake because that would tell me a lot. And I think he might be a bit of a new runner, have been running the past few years. Don't know. So this was the first week of the training plan. So I'll do a quick review of it. And it actually is a good training plan. It starts off at 60 miles, so it's over 16 weeks, and then it looks like it ends at 75 miles. So it's only 15 mile per week difference. So that's 170 miles per week is 110 kilometers per week, 115 kilometers per week, international people. I live in Australia, Sydney, Australia. That's only in 60 miles per week is only 100, so 100 kilometers. And then it looks like it ends, where is that one? First week. All right, so this is the last week. I like to see the beginning and end. And it looks like it's about 15-week plan, 16-week plan. So he ends at 75, but what he's doing is 13 miles medium long run, and it's a 20-mile easy long run. So I like that the medium long run is, I don't know what pace it is. Maybe it's at marathon pace. I just see a medium long run of 13 miles. And I do like my medium long runs, but there was something really good in here. I'm trying to find it, where he was basically doing marathon pace in the medium long runs and building. And I think that's great. He said it was aggressive. It definitely is a bit aggressive, but I think that it's quite tame because the top end, it goes from 60 to 75. That's not very wide. Could see if it went from 30 miles to 70 miles, then that's pretty wide. So that'll be about 40, 50 kilometers a week to 110 kilometers a week. So almost a double. And it's not doing that. And my only issue is this 400 workout that I do have another issue, but there's a 400 workout that I will try to find. 12 by 400 at 5K pace. I don't like that the rest is very long. That's my issue. So I I actually think when you do this workout at 5K pace, which is actually for 400, it's not that fast. It's about starts at a 7 out of 10, ends at an 8 out of 10. So it's not hard. It's a threshold-ish workout. It's a VO2 max-ish workout. It kind of works both. I think it works more VO2 max if you have a shorter rest. And I think it does actually work threshold if you have a shorter rest, but you're not going that hard. So 75-second rest, if he's running a 79-minute half, he should be able to run these in about 75 to 80 seconds for the 5K. And that means he should have about 40 seconds rest. And 75 seconds rest is too long. He doesn't get his heart rate up high enough because it's so short. And I get that, like, if you're gonna do 75 seconds rest, I think they should be like closer to 3K, 2-mile pace, or even 1-mile pace, like, to really get the benefits. 12 400s at 1-mile pace is a bit much, maybe probably 10, especially week 5. But if you go to week 11, sorry, is it the last week here? He goes to 15 by 400, and it's the same with 90 seconds rest. So I don't know, maybe it's to kind of sharpen him up and get him ready for the Saturday. Like, I probably wouldn't have him doing this VO2 max style workout this close to his main race. I would stop this style VO2 max workout 8 weeks out, or I'd do it every 2 weeks. I'd actually be doing more tempo work and more marathon paced focused work. Personally, in my opinion, everyone has different opinions about how they coach, but I think getting more specific, the principle of specificity, is very key for marathon running. The VO2 max 15 by 400, 16 by 400, 12 by 400 is great. Short rest is great early on because that builds up your top end aerobic system, which will help you in the marathon and will help you get uber fit early on, but it doesn't really help later on, the speedy stuff, because you need to be doing marathon pace. But enough of that. I'll kind of go to my answer to him, which was on quick look. It's pretty good. Standard, but good. Aggressive. Well, standard's fine. Absolutely fine. Aggressive, but yeah, it should be good. I think when you don't know someone, you can't really get too intricate. You can only start really playing with things once you have a baseline set of coaching them for 2 or 3 race periods. You shouldn't be like changing things up. You just got to figure people out. That's something that I do a lot. I'm like, I don't know where you're at. You're new to this distance. Let's back it down. So I had a million questions. Who gave it to you? Will you have them coach you? How much time did you have between the half marathon? Why 14 weeks? Where are you at now with your injury? If you have a history of getting injured at 60, this is kind of a little bit of advice. What I would do is I'd figure out what the injury is, and I'll get to that in a second, and bulletproof that. Hover at 50-ish miles per week, so 90 kilometers a week for a few weeks. So hover there, and then increase your speed stuff, do marathon pace stuff, but like hover there and see if any injuries come up. Then get to 60, hover there if any injuries come up. Then if no issues, go to 70. Future Darren here, and I won't do that thing. You know the thing where people go, hey, you should subscribe, rate, share, give a thumbs up, rah, rah, rah. Now, while I'd love for you to do that anyways, please go ahead and do it. The next steps will be for you to transform your running life with our free 1% Better Runner 30-day base training habits plan and newsletter. Unlike other running plans and newsletters, we do not do motivational quick fixes and hacks. Instead, we focus on long-term success that lasts from 30 days to 30 years and more. It's not just a training plan, but a mental shift. Think of it as your personal running therapist. Sign up for free at either dlatecreates.com/news, web search 1% Better Runner newsletter, or get the link in the show notes or video description below. All value, no fluff, cancel anytime. Let's get back into it. It's not the best because obviously you won't be 100% ready for the race, but you'll figure out where your injuries are. So, I said, answer those questions and then I'll get back to you. He then said an old teammate. So answer number 1 is an old teammate. So it's a friend coaching him. The last time I worked with this, he was 9 to 10 weeks out. I guess injury when I did my half and I was supposed to do my marathon, but he got injured during that time. And then number 3 answer, ever since the injury, I've had something new come up every couple months. Standard. It started with issues around my fibula. So I started to think that I needed to strengthen my calves and ankles. So he did that and it worked. But now he has IT band issues, which now he's trying to deal with that. So he says it comes back, but it goes away and it comes around when he does long runs. So now he doesn't know. And he says it feels okay most runs, but on a couple near the end, I feel slight irritation. The problem was with IT band, and again, I'm not a physical therapist, but usually most people, it's a too much, too soon injury. I had it and it sucked. I couldn't stand it. And I've gotten out of it because I've now am smart and I slowly ramp up my stuff. I've also been strength training my ASS off and I, minimum 2 days a week, if not 3. And I hit all the target areas. And I have not had any IT band issues in the last 7 years. So I've been smart about it. I've had other issues. I got Achilles issues. Had some runners that was stupid, but the Achilles stuff is some other stuff. But I'm not saying I'm injury proof, but at the same time, I'm much smarter, and the IT band is usually too much too soon. Okay, I'm going to say, as I say to anyone, sort the injury out ASAP. Stop messing around. That means you might need to, Nate, I'm talking to you. That means you might need to just take a few weeks off. Get ready to take possibly 4 to 6 weeks off if it doesn't fully go away. Now, what you can do is cross-train. And I did a whole episode on that up top, or there's a link in the show notes if you're listening, or video description below. Cross-training is your best friend because you can keep your aerobic fitness and your marathon pace fitness to a limit. You can keep that going. You can do elliptical and aqua jog. I'd say do those two things. Stairmaster, if it doesn't irritate you, do those two things because those are most run specific. And I talk about that in the episode. And do that so that you're not irritating it, keeping your fitness, and then go to a physical therapist, physiotherapist, wherever you live. Have them assess you, do a diagnostic, and then give you a treatment plan, and then follow it to a T. Maybe even get a personal trainer to help you with certain exercises. They will give you exercises, lift heavy, lift often, lift 3 days a week. Yes, do specific targets. I'd say full body, and then target your kind of areas that you need to target that are troublesome. With IT band, it's hips and glutes usually. I had some issues around my knee because it was pulling at my knee because that's where it kind of starts and then goes up to the side of your hip and then kind of wraps around. I'm not a physical therapist, so I will not even try to mess around with that, but try to see someone. I did actually an episode on how to, from an internet perspective, with a certified, she has a master's in physical therapy, how to sort an IT band syndrome injury. And that's actually up top on YouTube. If you are watching this, or if you're on Spotify or you're listening, there's a link in the show notes or video description below about IT band issues and sorting it and just educating yourself. But go see someone. And now that means that you have like pretty much, I think, one option. That's drop down the expectations that you're going to run. I think you have the potential at a 119 half marathon. You could run a 250 marathon, 249. I think you should drop that expectation down to 3 hours, 5 minutes, and give yourself possibly 8 weeks. 8 weeks to just back the training down, the running down, but keep your cross training up. Get very comfortable in the pool, aqua jog, and elliptical if you can. And then I would slowly bring the cross training down as you get more healthy and bring the running up. So you have so let's say you have 16 weeks. You have 8 weeks to then sort your injury out, get bulletproof yourself, get 100%. Then as you come back, you now have 8 weeks to maybe 7 weeks to sort out your marathon fitness. You shouldn't have lost too much. Your body still needs to run on the surface that it's going to run for the actual event. You need to do that. That is, you can't get away from that to run your best time, but let's throw away your best time. Let's run the best time you can with everything you have. Throw away the expectation that this is going to be the marathon that you're going to kill it. But get through it, get through the training, do your race. I think 7 weeks is a decent amount, especially if you do your cross training. You do similar marathon specific work during cross training, and then do whatever you can in the marathon. 305, cool. Learn everything, come back a bulletproof runner. The next training period, if you want to do another marathon in the year, you can, I guess if you want to do one in the fall, I think you're in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm in Sydney, Australia again. So I'm always, kilometers here, even though I'm American, I've been here 13 years. But you can then, in let's say September, October, November, you then will have time over the summer because you've learned to then get your 16, 20 weeks in of marathon specific training and you can kill it. So you might have to wait 2 years, maybe even might be a 2026 thing, depending on your IT band syndrome and depending on if any other injuries come up, but it was a too much too soon thing. And you're going to be in this constant state of like kind of hurt, kind of not, kind of hurt, kind of not, and you're going to hobble your way to the start line and you're going to have possibly not a great marathon. And I think if you just do it smart, you just delay the gratification, you apply the 1% better techniques. Like I said, you back down your expectations, believe in the process, trust the process, have some patience. You will be fine moving forward into the second period, your second marathon of this year, if you want to do one, or next year. Again, back it down, sort yourself out, bulletproof yourself, three days a week, see a physical trainer, 3 days a week of strength training, cross train if you can, and break it into 2 periods, 8 weeks of rehab, prehab, and then 8 weeks, 7 weeks of marathon specific work. Maybe they'll come together. Maybe you'll naturally just crush it. Maybe you'll run a 259 and maybe you'll run a 305. And then maybe next year you can go to where your ability is, which is possibly a 250 to 249 sort of marathon. And then see if you like the race. You might not like the distance. All right, I'm going to end it there. Again, if you want I've got a lot of different free training plans, downloads, habits, guides, etc. The base training plan is probably the best one, most applicable to anyone that's watching. There's a QR code somewhere here, or there's a link in the show notes or video description below. Or if you want to hit me up, comment below. I've got one on 5K running, VO2 Max. I've got one on cadence, increasing your cadence, and I got one on cross training. And these are like 30-day to 6-week to 6-month, all different types of lengths of download plans that you can get for free. You'll sign up for my newsletter, which will give you tips and tools and tactics to run your best and live your best life. Email, newsletter, free. You'll just get it. It's about once a week. So you'll sign up for that. You can cancel anytime. But let me know if you disagree with me. This is my coaching opinion, and this is fun. It's YouTube. This is just the internet. So let me know if you disagree with me, what else you would do. Nate, let me know if I was wrong, if I missed anything, because I'm sure I don't have enough information. And how long have you been running, man? I want to know that. So I feel like I should have asked you that first. I'm going to end it there, not make this too long. Appreciate everyone's time. Peace. If you want to find out more about what we talked about in this last episode that you just listened to or watched, go to this next video right here.